Three shortcuts in Unreal Engine 5. Let's go. So these shortcuts I'm going to discuss here, these are operations I use quite a lot, typically when I'm building out environments and when I'm using different props and things. And three of the most common ones are actually, they're all up here, the ones that I use. The good thing is, obviously, from here, you can click them while you're working away, and that's fine. But if you're going back and forth here, especially if it's any kind of larger environment, something like this, where you've maybe got a lot of objects, you're doing a lot of changes and things, go 2 and 4 back here, it can get a bit frustrating. Not frustrating so much, it's more just you're doing a lot more work for the same task that you're doing there. So the first one I'm going to look at, I'm going to select here. So if we go over here for the transform gizmo coordinate system, so this switches between world and local objects. So if you look at this here, I'm selecting this object, pressing W so we can see the gizmo here. Now just now, if you look over here, we're actually in world just now. You can see that icon there, it turns from circle here, and then if we go to local, if we click it again, it goes to this. So this is local to the object where it is in the world here. And if I go back to world, you can see here that the gizmo here changes, and then you can actually move it like this, or like this, etc. If you want to make those changes just now, you can just go up here and click it. Yes, it's quite quick, but I've actually set a shortcut for this. So if I press what I'm pressing here, which in my case I'm pressing Control F, I can really quickly change from local to world. So we're in world just now, then local. So I'm not even clicking this. I can very easily change this. I find this really handy, especially when you're doing set dressing. You've got a lot of props and you're filling out an area. You're going to be dealing with a lot of props and a lot of objects, so naturally going up here, you know, that's going to take a lot of time. And a rule of thumb for me is, anytime you need to go in any menu to do anything, that takes up time. So if you can figure out the shortcut or create a shortcut for yourself to do that operation instantly, you're going to save yourself a lot of time in the long run. But I'll go through how to change these. So let's go to Edit, Editor Preferences. So let's look for Cycle. So look for this here. So it's Cycle Transform Coordinate System. Now here I've set mine to Control F. So if you just click on it, I'm going to just change it just again so you can see. So I'll just press Control F. And that's it now bound to that system there. So if I close that, and you can see this works again. And there we have it. So there's two other shortcuts rather that I want to go over. So the next one here is set the position grid snap value. This is obviously another really important thing. So if you click here, you can see we're moving in increments of 10 units here. So if I move this, you can see that the gizmo is snapping every 10 units here. I'm using this daily, this snapping tool. You can see down here, of course, you can change different units, all that sort of stuff. But typically when I'm building out environments, I'm always sticking to the grid, always. But some occasions you may have to go out of that, where maybe you have to move something very specific in an area and you have to off the grid a little bit. Again, it's very simple to select it here, but what I would do is I would then set this to a shortcut as well. So let's go back up to Edit, Editor Preferences. Now look for Grid Snap. And here it is here under the Common Viewport Commands. So this is Grid Snap here. Now I've set mine to Shift S. So again, I'll just push Shift and S. Feel free to set these to a shortcut that's maybe more suited to yourself. This is just what I use. So close that down again. Shift S. You can see here we're activating the snapping. That way, again, you're not going all the way up to this toolbar. You're trying to look for the icon and click it to then perform the snap operation. You know, we can very easily turn that on and off. And again, it'll save you a lot of time. Now, the final shortcut I want to go over is snapping rotation. So very similar to this with the move snap. Instead, what we want to do is we want to be able to snap to certain degrees. Now typically, or quite commonly shall I say, normally I've got this at 90 degrees. Usually, quite similar in your 3D packages such as Maya, 3ds Max and Blender. So also we click here, we're now enabled rotation grid snapping, and if I press E for rotation, you can see we're rotating every 90 degrees there. Again, that's fine. You can just select up here. But again, let's set up the shortcut for that. So again, editor, and edit and editor preferences. Then we look for rotation snap. And here it is here again under the common viewport commands, rotation snap. I've got mine set to Shift A, so I'm going to press it again, Shift and A. So you don't have to click save or anything here. As soon as you change that, that will be applied, so you can close this down. Now if I press Shift A, you can see that icon at the top there is disappearing and turn back on. So when it's blue, it's enabled. So here we go, I'm snapping, then Shift A again, turn it off. There we go, we can freely rotate. Again, this is really handy for prop placement and set dressing because quite a lot of times you're going to be placing and changing the positions of objects outside the sort of main grid units here. So there you have it. So if we push Shift A, rotation snap, I'm going to turn it off again, then Shift S, we've got our snapping for, our grid snapping with movement. Turn it off again. And then we can change our gizmo from local to world positions. So Control F in my case. So there you go, so that's world, that's local. So these are 3 common shortcuts that I use. If there's any shortcuts that you use in Unreal Engine 5, put them in the comments section below. And thanks for watching again.